did.
Okay. All right. Happy 2023, you guys. This is a welcome back for me this week. I was on vacation through the first week of January and then went off to Scentsy's Leadership Conference, which was last week. A huge thanks to Robin and the other leaders that commanded last week's call. Appreciate you so much. And I have had amazing feedback that it was awesome. So I will have that call and any other calls that are outstanding, including this one tonight, uploaded to our YouTube channel tomorrow. So everything will be up to date and you'll be able to reference them if you miss them. Another call that I will have uploaded on our YouTube channel is the Thursday night shift call, which was the first one of the year that featured had the guest speaker Becca Levi. I will have that uploaded as well. Cassie said it was so good. I heard from many people that got on that it was such a good call. And so it was a great way to kick off the year. And now I'm back. I am re-energized and refreshed after the holidays. It was great being around other Scentsy leaders. We kind of feed off of each other's energy, which is always one of the benefits of getting together at a Scentsy event, is because you are around like-minded individuals who are working toward a lot of the same goals that you are. And it's really fun to feed off of their energy, get their ideas, swap, share. And so I come home excited to see what this year brings. Scentsy has a lot of great things in the works for us for 2023, a lot of really exciting LTOs that are coming, some new programs that are coming. And so I'm really looking forward to that. The new catalog is amazing. I said this past year, or this past fall, winter, when this catalog cover came out, I said that this was my favorite catalog cover of all time, because when I looked at it, there was a feeling. I felt something when I looked at this, and I may venture to say the spring summer catalog cover is now my new favorite. And so I'm really excited. The catalog is beautiful. And that's the catalog that starts for spring summer on March 1st. There are some really pretty and exciting products coming out in that catalog. So that's on the horizon, but I don't want to put too much into that because we still have half a month in January and the full month of February in the fall winter catalog. We still have these scents and these products available to us. If you missed on the team page or on the news tab, there is a flash sale coming on the 19th. It's going to be website only. So anybody that orders, including you, has to do it from your PWS. So you have to have a website in order to take part in the flash sale. Or to be able to have your customers order from the flash sale. That has to happen on your PWS. Do we get early access to the spring summer catalog? We will in February. Scentsy hasn't announced just yet when we'll be able to purchase them or when they're going to be uploading it to the workstation. Sometimes they don't want to upload it too soon so that people stop focusing on the selling that happens in that month and starts already focusing on selling on products we can't buy yet. So, but we'll see. And we do usually get one at World Tour. Yeah, Joe.
They did. Someone had copied the link from the leadership call yesterday, and I actually watched it.
And did they show? And
they said January 28th that they will have the catalog available for us to look at. Okay, perfect. So we can't order them yet, but we'll be able to see it. They didn't say when.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, Jody. Okay. So let's see. We've got just thinking if there was anything else that I wanted to tell you. I don't think so. Okay, I'm really excited about tonight's topic. How many of you, prior to this call tonight, prior to seeing the article that I posted with our Zoom link, how many of you kind of designate a word for your year? I'm just curious. It's over the course of the last couple of years, it's become more of kind of a trendier thing to do, more so than a New Year's resolution. New Year's resolutions are a tiny bit what feels like outdated. And now it's more of, I'm going to choose a word that is all encompassing, whether it's my personal life, my family life, my spiritual life, my business, that kind of everything pertains to. And so the article that I posted with the Zoom link for tonight talked about what is your word going to be for 2023. So there's a couple things from that article that I want to call your attention to, just kind of as either a refresher, or if you didn't get a chance to read it, kind of gives you an overview. But then what I want to do first is collect from you what your word is for 2023. I'm going to do something really cool with them. And so I want to know what your word is. And then if we still have time at the end of the call, then I will pick a couple of you to tell us why you chose that word and what that means to you. So here's the high points from this article. So what is a personal word of the year? The idea behind having a word for your year is that it will replace a traditional New Year's resolution. This is one single word that you focus on throughout the year. It will permeate your entire life and affect everything you do, from how you react to others, to how you care for yourself, to how you prioritize your life. Because your word of the year is an idea, concept, and driving factor, it is not a goal. Your one little word will be a gentle reminder about your priorities and should help you refocus throughout the year. So how do you come up with your word of the year if you don't have one? Well, the really cool part is in that link that I gave you, there is a short list of 250 power words to kind of jog your brainstorming session. And so the very first thing they say to find your word is to jot down any words that you immediately think of, or if you look at the list, anything that stands out to you. Go through the word inspiration list and go with your initial gut reaction first, and then ask yourself questions based on that word. So what is missing from your life? Where is your life headed? Do you like that path, or do you want to change it? What, if any, lies do you tell yourself? What are your goals for your personal life? What are your goals for your professional life? So do a little soul searching, maybe do a little bit of free writing, but dig deep, and then narrow them down one at a time. And then the big thing is making sure that you see your word every single day. So a lot of people will post their word on their home screen, like of their phone, or post it on the mirror in the bathroom, or you want to be conscious of some of this word. And I like what they say about it isn't a goal, but it's more of a refocus for you. It's more of, am I abiding by the word that I've chosen? And it's kind of a way to put yourself in check throughout the year. It's not like you have to remember a mantra. It isn't that you have to remember some lengthy, directive that you've set for yourself. It's just, am I still in alignment with the intention that I wanted to set at the beginning of the year? And again, that list is in that article. So I guess we will have a few minutes for people to give, because I know not everybody has a word, and that's completely fine. And you don't have to have one by the end of this call, because I don't want to rush you. But so I see you guys are dropping them in the chat, aren't you? Are you dropping them in? Okay, well, I want you to say them, so hold tight. Okay. But then I want you to tell me how you came, or what that word means to you, and how you came to choosing that. Like, what is it about that word that you have chosen to have that be your focus path for this year? Okay, so let's just go. I guess if you put them in the chat, that'd be a lot faster, wouldn't it? No, I want everybody, I want to hear you say it. So for those of you that do have a word, can you just unmute yourselves and then tell us what your word is for this year? I know everybody's going to go at once, but go. Balance.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Ooh.
Accountability.
Action.
No, you're okay. My word is now.
My word is action.
Now. Okay.
I don't have one, but it's to mind my own business, to run my business.
Okay,
That's it.
okay. right.
Consistency.
Say again.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Pockets,
Healthy.
Wait. Say
pockets,
pockets. Okay, you have to tell us.
yeah, I will.
Okay. Okay. Consistent,
Healthy.
healthy,
Focus.
focused,
Endurance.
Health.
say again.
Endurance.
Okay.
Simplify
Simplify.
and engage.
Sell. That can be my word. Sell.
Sell. How can you, so is that one just your business word, or how is sell going to play a part in your personal life as well?
Well, I have a lot of stuff to take care of from when my mom passed away 2 years ago. I'm still paying on storage. So my thing is to get rid of what's in the storage, save that money so I can buy stuff to sell stuff.
I love it. So I love though that you translated that word is powerful to you, because it not only reminds you, see, I was thinking that it was business minded, but that you have something that you want to focus on.
I do.
Okay. Self. All right. Did I miss anything from the chat? Let's see. Okay. Grow. Was there anything? Healthy, self. Stick to itiveness. Okay. Tell me what that means to you.
So the actual definition is the quality that allows someone to continue trying to do something even though it's difficult or unpleasant.
Okay.
I also think of determination to go along with that, but yeah. It came from initially when my kids did Taekwondo. That was something that they had to learn along with that. So that's where I learned the word, like, would have been 6-8 years ago. So
Okay.
it's something that they taught the kids then, but
Well, what I like about it is you can apply it in all aspects. It's a reminder to stick with things that you
Stick with
want to
it.
complete, things that you want to follow through on. So I like
Yeah.
that it is something that can pertain to your business. It can pertain to your house, your own personal to-do list, things that you want to accomplish, whether business or otherwise. So I like that. Mine for this year. So I'm narrowing down my list still, because I have a hard time just committing to the one and running with it. But my front runner right now is order. I need order in my business. I need some order in my personal life. I just need order. And so that's the word that is top of mind for me. Anything else? Allow. That's an interesting one. That could go a couple different ways. Tina, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, mine is allow. It rings to me because on both aspects. Allow myself to relax when I need to. Allow myself to rest. Allow myself to be successful. Those type of things. So allowing myself to just be me and accepting that, because I don't always allow myself to, because my job's physical, and I don't always allow myself to be okay with, you're tired, do nothing for that day and not feel bad about it.
Mhm.
So that's kind of my thought process. is allow myself to believe in myself, allow myself to relax.
Do you think that this is just an open question. Do you think that our ability or inability to allow ourselves grace or allow ourselves to relax, is that a curse of being a woman? Is it a curse of being busy? Is it a curse of being a business owner? And for so many of you, you're a business owner and also work another job.
Mine is because I always want to be perfect. Not like perfect. I'm not satisfied with what I do, even though someone else may not be able to do it. I never look at it that way. I always think, well, anybody can do this, but it's not true. So it's part of a perfection thing in me.
Yeah.
I do think that women are often pressured to be kind of everything. Like we feel like, like we have to like run a house, we have to have a job, and we have to be able to take care of everybody. Whether or not we actually do, we feel like we have to, because I think kind of like society puts that pressure on us. So I do think that is part of it. And the busy thing, I think is very much an American mindset. We as a country, like our message is like, we have to be busy all the time, because if you're not busy, you're not succeeding.
Yeah. And sometimes this allowing ourselves grace comes with guilt as a byproduct of allowing ourselves to rest, or giving ourselves permission to take some time for ourselves, or to go take a walk, or to do some self-care. The byproduct of that sometimes is guilt, which is another negative feeling, right? That I think is a curse in a lot of ways. Because I think that if you asked people, if you asked anyone, how am I trying to word this? You ask it, everyone wants to have all the time in the world. Everyone wants to have the equal amount of work and play, and the perfect amount of money, all of these things that we almost put pressure on ourselves when we fall short. And then we feel like we're constantly playing catch up. Right? I'm constantly catching up on sleep. I'm constantly catching up on my business. I'm constantly catching up on housework. I never feel like I actually get to rest, because I'm always catching up on things. So this word is the whole reason why it has to be something that's all encompassing, and why you don't want to have, a word for my business and a word for my personal life and a word for this and a word, because then you don't know how to focus on just one thing. But I think that's why having a word to redirect your focus when we get kind of spazzy about all that we have to do and all we have to get done, and there's not enough hours in the day, and I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, we have to be able to pull back and refocus and remind ourselves where our intention is. And not trying to bite off everything all at once, and breaking things down and going. When I was cleaning my desk, I found a notepad that I had written down, breaking down tasks on things that I wanted to get in order. Okay, breaking them down, because remember, if you read, you can read all kinds of things that'll say, well, if your kitchen is overwhelming to organize, start with one cabinet at a time. Bite off take things in little steps, and then those little steps give you the big picture in the end. Eventually you'll get through all the cabinets, and then I come back and say, and by the time I get through the last cabinet, it's time to start on the first cabinet again.
Yep.
Like, I mean, that's just how it is. And the majority of the time I live my life in such a thinking about 100 things at once that I put the milk away in the pantry. Like that's kind of that's kind of how I operate. And so I have to pull back and remind myself that I can't do everything. I can't be everything for everyone all the time, that I have to be enough for myself first. And so how can I be more intentional in this thinking so that I'm not spending 2023 putting the milk in the pantry every day? How can I feel a little bit better about my productivity, my results, and at the same time feel good that I didn't sacrifice myself in the process?
Pockets.
So let's see, who said blessed? How do you want, because blessed to me, that seems like an easy one. And I'm not faulting you for it. I'm talking out loud. To me, blessed seems like an easy one, right? But what I love is if you're focused on being or feeling blessed, will you show more gratitude this year? Will the byproduct of being blessed be showing more gratitude? What byproduct could you make or get from your word? Is it a positive byproduct?
Yeah. I have gone through so much in the last 2 years that I have found myself to be blessed to still be here. I cannot begin to explain how blessed I am with my family. My husband has been my rock. He has been through the ringer. So blessed, yes. And I want to share my blessings with anyone who will take the time and sit and just talk with me.
I love that. That sounds like it is very intentional.
It is very, it is. It is a very big eye opener for myself because at that point in my life, the last 2 years have been a struggle. And for the first time in 2 years, I actually have hope that all my medical issues are being taken care of. And I'm just blessed to even be here for it all.
I love that. Thank you, Alyssa.
No, thank you.
All right, Kristen, you said brave.
I did. I tend to be a very outgoing kind of person, typically, especially if you get to know me. Lisa's shaking her head, yes. But I'm also incredibly introverted in a lot of ways. I'm a Gemini, so I'm two people wrapped into one. So so it's tough for me. It's a balance I struggle with. So brave, in a lot of ways for me. I didn't have a word. It just literally, when you said word, that's the first word that popped into my head. For me, it's more of just being okay with being wrong and failing, and being okay with trying and it not turning out okay, and just getting outside of my comfort zone and getting out of my own way a little bit. And that's in my business and also just in my personal life in general, and be a better person for my kids and be brave and, sit down and talk to parents at sporting games and try to meet people to like carpool, because we're in that phase of life right now. And that terrifies me, which is dumb because we're all in the same boat, but things like that, just as an example, but that's kind of why I chose brave.
I love that. Thank you. Let's see. So let me ask you, Amber, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. So your word that you chose is improvement. So my question for you would be, how will you measure if you've improved?
In lots of ways, because in the corporate world, my give a damn is busted. So I know like my job is on the line there. So either improve doing something else to make the money that that would bring in.
Okay.
And self, so it's just improvement on everything, really.
Yeah. I want that for you. I want you to feel, I want you to feel like you are working at accomplishing and that you are able to measure when you have improved or when a situation has improved.
Robin's my my biggest cheerleader for my boss to actually like keep kicking me towards Scentsy, but we won't talk about that until another day.
It's because Robin loves you.
Well, and Robin's heard the horror stories of what a wonderful person she can be. So,
Well, thank you. KJ, did you want to share your word?
I can because it's kind of like a confusing word, and I brainstormed and I had like 30 words, but I think that my word is now. And I think I struggle really hard with like living in the now and stop trying to be here, there, and everywhere. And then even like my husband's always like, can you just enjoy the moment right this second versus like freaking out about something that's going to happen in 10 minutes or 2 weeks. So that's a big one. Like do it now. Like I find myself like I'll fold that basket of laundry in a minute, or I'll cook dinner in 5 more minutes, and the next thing you know, like I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off because dinner's not done. Be more present in the now. Like stop telling myself, well, I have to work right now, so I'll be present with the kids like tomorrow. Today I don't have time. Like I gotta stop doing stuff like that. I have to eat now. It'll be 11:30 at night and I'll be like, oh, I haven't ate today. So that's a big one. Get more organized now. Stop saying that I'm just not an organized person. Like do it. So like different things like that. Like stop thinking that the future, like, oh, I've got time. I can do it then. Like I have to stop that and be now.
Mm-hmm. You can also, you have to be careful with now because you can also burn yourself out on the now. Because if every time you sit down on the couch and then you think I should unload the dishwasher, well, got to do it now. That if every single time you pause and take a moment of rest, that something is nagging at you to do now, you will lose your rest unless you're intentional with saying, I'm going to take a break now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely balance was my second word.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was on the like block was balance, because I run myself so hard, and then I feel like I sink to the bottom, and then I tread water and I swim, finally get to where I'm treading, my head's above water, but then I collapse and I end up in bed for 2 days, and then I sink back down to the bottom. And then that's what every weekend looks like in my house. Like swim. Oh, I finally got here. It's Friday night. Now I'm stuck in bed and sink, because then like I had typed in the chat, like it's like a guilt, depression, anxiety hamster wheel that you can't seem to quite get off, and nothing that you're doing is really making you get off, but each one is a byproduct of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a battle, but here we go.
But I love it, because if that word sparks action and movement for you to feel maybe like you're able to just stay on the surface of the water instead of every couple days sinking to the bottom, then that is your word, and that is where you put your focus. Who said engage? Lydia, was that you? So what does engage mean, and with who or how?
I think it has a lot to do kind of along KJ's line, is that I feel like so many times it's easy to get overwhelmed with our daily tasks for our jobs, for our businesses, for our families. And a lot of times I just want to check out, and because I'm so overwhelmed that I don't know where to start. So I don't start at all.
Yeah.
And so I have all these to-do lists and I have all these things that I'm going to do, but I need to force myself to step into those things and engage with my team and engage, more with my family and just more in my own personal self, just looking inward and actually engaging and recognizing what is there that I need to work on.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Nicole, you said self.
I knew it was coming. Okay, so I'm going to circle back a little bit to what we were talking about earlier. As women, we're wired differently. And this is kind of where this word for me, I think, comes from. It just kept coming to me. So last year I did a lot of, it was like the year of yes. I really didn't turn down any opportunities. I soaked every possible thing in like I could, or that I was able to. And this year I've decided I really need to work on myself in like all avenues, and not just working on myself in the typical aspect of working on myself, but I need to, for instance, this is something that rings really true. I posted it the other day. And then my husband, a few days or hours later, he like gave me a big hug and he was like, I'm here, right? Like, I'm here to help you. You don't have to do things on your own. And I'm like, I know you're an equal partner. Like, I know that you've got me, but as women, we're wired differently. We just are, and we don't stop, and we just don't, we're just different. And so the post was, it was, I don't know, one of those little image thing, meme things, whatever. I don't know. What some people don't understand is that she's living on 1%. Nobody is feeding her. No one takes care of her when she's sick. Nobody's asking her what she needs. No one is recharging her battery, and she force stops. She stops taking care of herself. She yells, she shuts down, and gets side-eyed for it. Plug her the F in. The moms are not okay. And when I shared that, I shared mommy's going to be plugging herself in 2023. Because when I read it, it reminded me that like, we shouldn't have to rely on other people to do it for us. Like everybody else, I shouldn't say everybody else, I shouldn't make a blanket statement, but lots of other people have the ability to just take a break when they need it, or step away when they have to, or give themselves a timeout when they, feel they need it, or go out for a walk to recharge, or not worry about the kids because, they just have the ability to do that, whether it's our husbands or our friends' husbands, or whomever, like, it doesn't matter. But I think as moms, we sometimes forget to do that. Like, we're constantly putting ourselves in all these roles and feeling like we need to do all the things. Like, my husband's always laughing at me because in the morning until they leave, I'm like pacing because I know like the next task is coming my way. So I'm not going to sit and get comfortable, because why would I sit and get comfortable? Because I know like the list is not going to stop and there's things to be done and I'm looking forward ahead. And so it's just stuff like that I feel like in this year, I need to take those moments to sit down, take those moments to reevaluate what tasks can I hand off to somebody else, and totally, truly hand them off. Not worry about how it gets done, not worry about when it gets done, not worry about if it gets done, just hand it off and let it go. And all of that is going to just help me have like a better, I'll be healthier. I'll be mentally healthier. I'll be emotionally healthier. I'll be physically healthier if I can just, the whole thing, just plug myself in. Whatever it is I need, just take those moments, plug myself in, disconnect, take the time outs, give myself what I need, whether it's more water, better food, more physical activity, less things on my to-do list. That's why this year is self. 'Cause it's the same in my business. I need to worry about myself. I can't worry about how what I'm doing may affect somebody else. And I don't mean that in necessarily a negative context. I don't want to negatively affect anyone else. However, I need to be in my own lane, and you can either be with me and working with me and come with the tide, or you can get off the ship. Like, that's kind of how I feel in this year and in this season. I can't allow other people's worries and self-doubt and weights holding them back to also inadvertently hold me back because I'm worried about the weight that they're carrying. I can help them strip the weight and I can move forward, and they can choose to strip it and come along, or they can choose not to, but I can't wear that weight. So I've got to keep myself in mind in all the things I'm doing. So
Thank you.
that's that.
Thank you. And you look great, by the way. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. We have time for maybe one or two more. I understand Grace all too well, I think. Pockets, Robin.
Hello. So mine is, well, pockets was kind of the theme of our conversation last week in the Zoom.
Okay.
And it's something that I've been thinking about for several weeks, because what I find is we used to talk about time blocking, right? You allow certain time. Well, I find that my 3 big areas of my life pull from each other. So if I do one really well today, I don't do the other 2. And if I do these 2, then this one gets ignored. And I'm constantly pulling. So when I was doing the Zoom, I was thinking a lot about pockets of time, pockets of attitude, pockets of whatever. So that's kind of mine. I couldn't narrow it down because what I found is that for me, you know, I have this farm life, I have my business life, I have the stuff that I have to take care of at home, and they don't always overlap in ways that are easy. So one pulls from the other. But if I look at it like pockets of time, pockets of attitude, whatever, what am I doing in this situation? Then I don't feel like such a failure. And I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but if you have a plan for your day where you were going to do this and this and this, and you don't get to it, you feel like you failed. But if you have several ideas generating, like, so for me, mine is now mine's the screenshot of my phone, right? I don't know if you guys can see that, right? So in my pockets, I have different things. I have whimsy because I want to find the fun in all the different avenues of my life. And I want to find boundaries, but sometimes those boundaries are breaking boundaries that are holding me back. And sometimes they're setting boundaries so that I'm healthier and that I'm not the gal. In our house, gal means group activity leader. And mom is always the gal. And mom's tired. So for me, self-care means setting boundaries. It means growth. It means attitude. Sometimes it's going to be measure. I need to measure if I've made progress. Did I think about what I needed today? Did I think about what someone else needed? Did I have some fun today? You know, did I have courage? For me, courage means I'm taking that trip, you guys. Saying that I wanted to do it and not feeling guilty, like I still feel guilty, but not letting the guilt keep me from going is courage. So for me, I can't come up with one. I'm finding pockets and allowing myself the grace to figure out which word fits in which pocket. Business, personal, self-care, family, farm, whatever. So that's what I mean by pockets.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to end us on, because this totally goes with the context of our conversation. And you have to forgive me. Can I say the word vagina? Can I say that on our recording? Can I? Okay, because in the context of this conversation, it's funny, or I can just say the V. I'll say the V. Okay, so somebody sent this to me just tonight that said, you know what's BS? That having a V automatically enlists me to decades of organizing what my family eats for dinner. And it's not like it's the good old days where that same V also got me a life free from work and not pumping my own gas. Yep. And I think it's so funny that that was sent to me right before, I mean, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, before we started talking about this and before we started relating to each other on the burdens we carry because of again, because we're women. And that isn't to say that the men in our life or the men in our life, the family in our life, the kids in our life, that they don't help us, that they don't step up and that they don't help us. But it is saying we put, just by being female, we come with that pressure that we put on ourselves to keep everything together. And it's felt by so many of us nodding our heads on this screen. It's felt by the person that sent that to me. That wasn't a meme. That was a text. Like, that wasn't a graphic that she found. That was literally like her revelation tonight, and then followed it up with, well, I am off to the store to buy a taco kit. So, you know, it's just, I think that tonight's call was important because obviously we all relate to each other in one way, shape, or form. And we're starting out a new year. And I'm really proud of us for setting a bit of directive on what we want to give ourselves this year. So I will take these words and do something fun with them. Watch the page in just a little while. Maybe some of you want to be able to put this word in front of you, and I'll make that happen for you. And so, I appreciate you so, so much. So much of what makes this business successful is the community that we build and that we belong to and that we are a part of. And I appreciate you. Thank you for getting on. Thank you for participating on Tuesdays. Thank you for participating on the page. And also be on the lookout for when I post these team Zooms, or when your directors post these team Zoom graphics and the information. The words do change each week, and I would like to change them a little bit more to include something inspirational, a clip to a quick video that might inspire you, something that we can use as a discussion at the start of our calls. I really would like this year to be a little bit more about growth and discussion, not just getting on Zoom and somebody talking at you. And most of the time the talking at you is from me because I'm a talker and a rambler. But I would love for us to build our community and continue to build our community by inspiration and growth and motivation and leaning into each other and being able to say in a safe space, listen, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. And the majority of that time, when you're having a hard time, there is somebody here in our community that's having a great day that can pick you up and say, you got this. And I want you to know that that's the type of community that you are a part of. That's what we do here. We champion for each other. This really is more than just how much did you sell with Scentsy. This is how can I be better and do better for myself and for everybody around me. Thank you. I appreciate you. We do have Cubicle this coming Friday. That will be open. We are back to business as usual. And it's great to see all of your faces. You guys, thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.